All right, yeah, we're taking a look at this Boudoir photography business today. Gonna see if it's got BSS for its local search or its city search on Google. And we're back in the GBC universe, taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More about that in the pin post or whatever, the main post of this profile. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. It means we're missing out on the highest, somewhere along this intent capture curve, we're missing out on the highest intent people, the lowest intent people somewhere. Usually it's the highest intent people. So over on the left, we're focusing on the highest intent people. If we're missing them, it means normally we've got BSS, boudoir search sameness. Over on the right, BLCS, that is our sister brand of boudoir FB ad doctor. Right now for a boudoir photographer spending more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. But BSS here, we're focusing on highest intent people searching for a boudoir photo shoot right now on social search and Google search. So the highest intent peeps. Now, boudoir search sameness is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. 0 slots, terrible on page 1 because we know that approximately 80% of all Google searches never go to page 2. So we care about that 80%. That's the bulk, which means we definitely got to be page 1, and then we got to maximize ourselves being on page 1. And 1 slot on page 1 Google is not good enough because everyone else on there has got 1 slot as well. So we're looking the same as everyone else. We're essentially still invisible. Now, 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's extremely common, but it is not normal. We actually need to have 3 out of 10 on page 1 of Google at a minimum. That's the GBC minimum we shoot for here at the local search and the city search levels. So 0 1 slots on page 1 is not normal. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation, which basically everyone knows about. And the second, the false belief of page 1 equality. This second part, the false belief of page 1 equality, from what I see, is the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses. So market saturation, that means, more boudoir photographers entering the market, seems like every day. Every time someone gets a new iPhone, they're throwing up their Google My Business profile, throwing up their website. If they get a camera, they're posting in the mom groups on Facebook saying they do boudoir photo shoots now. And what does that do? That gunks up page 1 of Google search. And when that happens, then when that gets gunked up, we get pushed down to only 1 slot on page 1, or we get pushed off all the way to page 2. Now, the false belief of page 1 equality is the biggest killer because everyone believes that it's normal. Hey, I had 1 slot on page 1. Yeah, more boudoir photographers entered the market. Now I'm on page 2. I got my 1 slot on page 2. That's it. And that's simply how it goes. But no, that's a false belief because I went from 0 out of 10 slots to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in 10 days using the solution I'm going to show today. And it's a false belief because it's not true, but it's the #1 killer boudoir photography businesses that I've seen because people just kind of relent to the fact that, market got more saturated, and what are you going to do? That's normal. We got pushed off. It is what it is. And now we also know that a boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Either disappearing because they got 1 link, same as everyone else, so they kind of become invisible, boudoir search sameness, or they're kicked off page 1 completely on page 2, and it literally makes them extra invisible. And disappearing boudoir photographer, that is a precursor to a disappearing boudoir photography business. That's kind of the canary in the coal mine. So we can see our universe taking shape here. A DBP with BSS is caused by market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. Luckily, we got a solution here though, because BSS is treated with social search saturation. So it's our S-cubed methodology that we invented. And again, I use this to go from 0 out of 10 slots to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 in 10 days. And this is the only thing I've seen that is able to successfully fight back against market saturation. Here's why. So, A, people have to accept that page 1 equality is a false belief before they even use it. But B, once they use it, let's say we take it to the max, GBC minimum, we're trying to get 3 out of 10 for local search and then city search using the SQ'd methodology. But let's say we take it to the max and, let's say there's a million boudoir photographers in our city, like Cincinnati. And we do SQ'd methodology to the max. So we're literally ranked for the highest intent keywords, the first 300 slots, on Facebook search, Instagram search, TikTok search, YouTube search. We're the only ones that can be found, and the result of that is we're also the only ones ranked the top 300 searches in Google. 10 organic searches per page times 30 pages. And even if there's a million boudoir photographers in our city, we don't even notice. Our business keeps growing because everyone else has BSS, boudoir search sameness, either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And no matter where anyone turns, we're basically the only option they can find. So that's why, again, SQ'd methodology is the only thing I've seen that's able to successfully fight back against market saturation. Now, once you're with SQ'd methodology, we now have page 1 visibility. This means we hit our GBC minimum 3 out of the 10 organic slots. Now we're looking way different. Everyone else got 1, maybe one special person's got 2, but we got 3. I mean, we're standing out. People actually see us by the 3rd time they're scrolling down and see our name again. The second bonus is we're kicking competing boudoir photographers off page 1. Every extra link we get on page 1 kicks an extra competitor off, kicks them to page 2, effectively making them invisible because we're focusing on the approximately 80% of Google searches that never click past and actually go to page 2. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So again, people can actually see us in the search, even though previously we were there with our 1 slot. Now we want to get there for our 3 out of 10 slots. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, which, dude, that's a precursor to anyone buying from us. If we're invisible, no one's buying from us. If we're disappearing, fewer and fewer people are buying from us. So if we're visible, and dude, this is just starting the momentum. We can continue the momentum and take 4 slots on page 1, 5 slots on page 1. Kind of as far as we can push it. It's basically as far as the strategy will take us. This is our full universe here. Declining boudoir photographer or disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and the #1 boudoir photography business killer, the false belief of page 1 equality. No. We can have as many slots on Google page 1 as we want to put in the effort to acquire. I've already proven it. We'll see that in the next picture. Do that by utilizing SQ'd methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility. We become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. This is the correct track we gotta be on to become the #1 boudoir photographers in our city. So my use using SQ'd methodology, kind of my most recent use, ranking for BLCS Boudoir. So this is for the other brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And got an AI overview here. Okay, that's not me yet. Then we got Google Map Pack. Now we're go to the organic. So we got Instagram, organic 1, Instagram, organic 2. Then we got organic 3, me. Organic 4, me. Organic 5, me. Organic 6, me. Organic 7, me. Organic 8, me. Organic 9, not me. Organic 10, me. So I did this in 10 days. I went from 0 out of 10 slots to 9 out of 10 slots. Page 1 of Google in 10 days. And this is all by using the SQ'd methodology. And onto the main event here. And check out this boudoir photography business. going to see if their local search or city search, if they got BSS for either of them or both of them or what. So we're going to Haymarket, Virginia. Okay. Haymarket, Virginia. No, we're at DMV right now. Here's Haymarket. All right, let's see what we got here. So, all right, can't generate AI overview right now. All right, so we got one. We got two. We got two. We got three. All right. All right, we got three. Nice. So good. So we do not have BSS, and we hit the recommended GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. All right, perfect for a local search. That's good. Good start. Let's look at DMV. All right. See how many we got here. Let's see. Not seeing us at all. All right, so we are 0 out of slots, page 1 on Google for city search. So we do have BSS for city search, and we're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 for Google search. All right, so if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local searches, you've done your city searches for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, and you've had 0 or 1 slots, so you've had BSS for at least one of those, and or you have not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google for any one of those, and you've accepted the false belief of page 1 equality. So you actually know Google wants to give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to take, and you're seeing S-cube methodology is the only way forward, the only path forward to acquire all those slots. It's actually, you've been waiting for something like this. And you're liking the initial benefits of S-cube methodology, more slots, page 1 on Google. You really like that page 1 on Google. You actually really can kick your competitors off page 1 on Google, effectively making them invisible or making them disappearing and making their business go down the path of disappearing. So you really like that. And you actually want actually looking ahead because you understand market saturation and you're realizing that AI is going to be taking more and more people's jobs. So not only do you need these slots on Google, you actually need to over slot on Google. You need to fortify your position for all of the new boudoir photographers that are going to be entering the marketplace. And as a result, the only solution you can see that'll help you fortify your position page 1, literally get like so many links to page 1 that Google can't even rank all your links on page 1, and they push you back to taking over page 2 and 3 and 4 because you got so many page 1 backup links. The only solution you see that can provide that benefit is S-cube methodology, basically like fortifying the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city's below sea level, so fortifying it against the ocean. You're fortifying this against current boudoir, current boudoir photographers getting anywhere on page 1, and also any future boudoir photographers or AI is taking their jobs, force them to become boudoir photographer, ever ranking page 1 as well. And you want to achieve page 1 visibility. You want to become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility because you know you need these things on your way to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. You also understand S-cube methodology is basically building invisible thematic keyword columns on the, kind of out in cyberspace, basically in the AI mindshare in cyberspace, kind of have these columns connected to your brand, your business name, your social handles out there in cyberspace where AI really cares about, repetition, relevance, frequency, authority, age of all these invisible thematic keyword columns. And every day we successfully execute S-cube methodology and grow those columns, increase those columns, we're increasing the probability we show up here AI overview, which means we're also increasing which is the most premium search placement there is. Cannot pay for this. And we're also increasing the probability that AI search recommends us. And we don't get any of these benefits paying for any ads. This is only through S-cubed methodology. And increased probability AI search recommends us. And That'd be things like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. Kind of increase in probability we show up in these searches, which these searches increase every single day in usage. I remember the last time I searched ChatGPT for boudoir photographers in a city, it gave me 3. And I actually went and did a manual Google and search and Facebook search. And dude, there's like 60. It's like, man, we got to find some way to get one of these 3 slots. And yeah, SQ methodology is the only solution you see out there that does increase that probability every day that we successfully execute it. And you're also like in that, it can help you create a large, well-known brand, approximately 8x faster than every normal method, every other method. So market saturation becomes less and less a problem for you. And imagine if you continue using SQ methodology when you have a large, well-known brand, essentially be, unbeatable. And you also understand that my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. And so as a result, you're liking that you can get all these benefits, but also exclude your competitors from getting all these benefits. And you can actually build up, you can kick them off their first pages, Google, fortify page 1 against them to never actually increase, never actually get back onto page 1, essentially. And you can also build up such a large kind of gap with the backend AI mindshare with those keywords, those invisible thematic keyword columns, that your competitors in the city really have no chance to ever catch up to you. So you decide to be a first mover and actually acquire all these things, all these benefits, and exclude your competitors from getting all these benefits. And you understand the converse, where if one of your competitors in your city was a first mover and signed out with me before you, they'd be getting all these benefits. You'd be kicked off page 1 on Google, maybe even page 2, relegated, way deep in the catalog. Definitely be disappearing. You would definitely be a disappearing boudoir photographer. We'd then be fortifying it, page 1 against you ever climbing back on there. We'd be building the backend AI keyword mindshare for your boudoir photography competitor in your city, building up their brand, building up a gap so large that basically no other competitor, including you, could ever reach them. And in order to compete with that, you would have to rederive SQ methodology all on your own. And once you rederive that all on your own, you'd never actually be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. You would actually have to then go successfully execute every single day, same as us. And then when you do that, the most that you would get is you would maintain the gap me and your competitor have already built in front of you, because you'd be equaling our output each day. So you'd have to actually 2 to 3x our effort every single day, but it'd be hard to commit that much time because, again, you're not even 100% confident you've derived the strategy correctly in the first place. And to do all this, who's got 80 hours in the day? So you're deciding, screw that. You decide you're going to be the first mover in your city. And as a result, that's you. Shoot us a DM. Our DMs are currently closed because the hospital is currently closed for new patient intake. But when the hospital does reopen for new patient intake, shoot us a DM, and we will see if you qualify to utilize our S cubed methodology.